No team has asked for permission. Jimmy Butler gets no buyers in trade market, says report. Jimmy Butler has long sought out of the Miami Heat and desires to play his chances on another team. However, the Heat haven't dealt with the situation, and insider Chris Haynes shared how Butler's camp is ready to clarify things with the team before the trade deadline. On Thursday, Butler's conflict with the Heat arose from his frustration over the team's contract handling, impacting his attitude and on-court performance. In response, the team indefinitely suspended him without pay. Many teams had once expressed interest in acquiring the former Marquette Golden Eagle, only for the negotiations to fall through. Butler had also declined the Golden State Warriors' offer in exchange for Andrew Wiggins and draft picks, per Brian Windhorst's Tuesday report. The Miami Heat were willing to trade Jimmy Butler for Andrew Wiggins and draft picks before Butler shut down the deal per. I think Miami was willing to do that deal for Butler. Let's see if by Thursday that gets revisited. Even the Phoenix Suns, a team where Jimmy Butler's willing to play, lacks the investment to welcome him to their already packed roster. Brian Windhorst says Jimmy Butler's only goal is to get to Phoenix, and no amount of money or a role on a different team will change his mind. He wants Phoenix and Phoenix only. With the trade deadline approaching and no deal in place, Haynes reported that Butler is prepared to stay with the Heat if he's not traded, as his camp remains in talks with the team. Jimmy Butler's camp has repeatedly told Heat he's in shape, healthy and ready to continue his career and move past this immediately. Their messaging to Heat has been to negotiate best deal possible, and once in red zone, if that team is granted permission by MIA to speak with Butler's rep to discuss his long-term future, that dialogue would be welcomed. To date, no team has asked for permission, Haynes tweeted. Sources: Jimmy Butler's camp has repeatedly told Heat he's in shape, healthy and ready to continue his career and move past this immediately. Their messaging to Heat has been to negotiate best deal possible, and once in red zone, if that team is granted permission by MIA to speak. Jimmy Butler averages 17.0 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.8 assists this season. He entered the Heat in 2019, bringing it to 2 finals appearances. Without their star forward, the team relies on fellow lead player Bam Adebayo, trying to get higher playoff chances this season. Insider believes Jimmy Butler will land on the Suns, but in exchange for another superstar forward. The Phoenix Suns remain one of Jimmy Butler's highest chances of being traded before the Thursday trade deadline. However, insider John Gambadoro shared how an anonymous NBA team believes the Suns will trade Kevin Durant to the Golden State Warriors before acquiring Butler. The KD to Golden State has taken on a life of its own in the last 24 hours. Look, I do not know for sure, so not reporting. I did talk to several teams today that heard the same thing. One told me he will most likely end up in Golden State with Butler to Phoenix. Will keep digging, Gambadoro posted on X/Twitter. That KD to Golden State has taken on a life of its own in the last 24 hours. Look, I do not know for sure, so not reporting. I did talk to several teams today that heard the same thing. One told me he will most likely end up in Golden State with Butler to Phoenix. Will keep digging. Durant has also been the Warriors' target after expressing interest in acquiring Jimmy Butler. A massive trade like this will shock the league, which is still recovering from the Luka Doncic-Anthony Davis transaction. For more sports content, follow us at Hardwood Heroics for your NBA and college basketball reading fix. You can reach out to Dan Agulto through email at papadanf@gmail.com. To read more of our articles and keep up to date on the latest sports news, click here. Dan has been active in sports since 2016 and has worked behind the scenes as a scriptwriter for basketball, volleyball, and other sports. At a time, Dan has also been working as a sports commentator for CBA Pilipinas. During the pandemic, he has also been actively writing betting articles for CashBet and Bet.